Ito talaga yung questions ko, Mark, bilang 4 decades nga ito, di ba? Meron akong 4 talagang questions
Okay.
na bilang 40 years, listicle siya. So 4 of your, first, 4 most memorable events in your 40 years na hindi mo makakalimutan.
4?
Yeah.
The first one has to be August 20, Folk Arts Theater, 1983. That's my very first concert ever. It was never televised because it was so bad. Not one right note. I was so out of tune. Back then we had small sound systems. Back then, believe it or not, the screaming was endless. So that's my excuse as to why I couldn't hear myself on stage. When we saw the TV playback, which was also the first time for us anyway, to shoot a concert with, I think, 2 or 3 cameras. We didn't have any of the special effects you have now these days. It was so bad. I wasn't in tune once. So it's never been seen. So that's one. The second one would probably be the first time I did a football stadium show, which nobody was doing at the time, and that's March 17, 1984, Martin's Rage. The third would be when I became a father for the very first time.
Sorry, saan yung venue nun, Mark?
Martin's Rage, University of Life Football Field. 45,000 people.
Wow.
And the tickets were 10 pesos. Do you even know what 10 pesos is? Have you ever seen it?
Seryoso yung 10 pesos?
10 peso, yung sa likod
Okay.
10 pesos. The paper bill daw. Ouch! So that would be one, and then the third of your 4 questions would probably be when I became a father. Then my singing changed, my writing style changed. I thought everything was forever. I thought there was no end to anything about being a father, being a husband. The fourth was when I was no longer a husband, because then I started writing songs of regret, songs of I'm sorry, songs of look what I've done. I mean, I was suicidal at one time. In showbiz, you go through these stages. Those 4 would probably be the highlights because they helped me to become who I am today.
Yes. O second, mabilis lang, Mike. 4 of your closest and most, bestest friends in the industry.
In the industry, number 1, Pops. Number 2, Gary V. Number 3, Regine. Regine and Augie has to be together because medyo they're in the same house. Ariel Rivera.
Okay, third is yung 4 of your most favorite song of yours.
Ooh, 4 long?
Yeah.
Say That You Love Me, in no particular order. Say That You Love Me, You Are My Song, I'll Be There For You. Probably as far as Tagalog, kahit isang saglit.
Yes. And last time, 4 of the worst intrigues ever na experience mo.
That you wrote? For
Hindi, Ricky Lodge.
You know, all the intrigues
ever.
I don't have 4 favorite or great intrigues because they were all true. Yan ang problema ng artista ngayon. I mean, they're so used to telling the truth. Back then, we were so used to lying. Lying was good before. It made us mysterious. We could hide. Oh, no, we're just friends. Bullshit. We're just friends. But now you can see it online now. There's no more lying. So, what's my point? Of the 4 intrigues written about me, all 4 were true. Yes, I was unfaithful. Yes, I was not a good father or husband or whatever it was. All of those things were true, except maybe one. When they first tried to ask, who is going to be an unwed father? It was either Raymond Lauchenko, Martin Nievera, or Gary Valenciano. That one was wrong. I was part of that. So, but all the intrigues, Alan, we needed. We don't have intrigues anymore because you know the answer. That's why we have no shows. We have no more The Buzz and all that. You know it. Before tomorrow, you know what the intrigue is going to be. And then the next day, it's solved already.
Were you the unwed father?
Was I the unwed father? No.
No, you were not.
See? Can you believe? It wasn't even me.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank
Congrats.
you. And that was Bob Castillo, just so you know. I love you too. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was Alan.
I just want to know kung ano yung mga highlights na kinukonsider mo na 40 years of your
Ooh.
career.
Of my career, probably those 4 earlier, the concerts and so on. One of the highlights I think that I didn't mention is the highlight of bouncing back. That's a talent that I learned how to come back. I have fallen so often, I've failed so many times that it's become one of the highlights of my career, my 40 years. how to bounce back. And that's a talent that some of these young kids probably will never have to learn because sa bilis ang ang turnover ng mga artists ngayon, di ba? Then one day it's this guy, this girl, this group, this love team. Back in the day, you were tanghaba yung mga love team namin. I even married mine, right? So when all the failures I've gone through in life taught me how to bounce back, that's got to be the number one highlight that brought me to your question.
Martin, yung 40 years is a very tough act to follow, no? Anong mga thoughts mo na umabot ng 40 years and going strong yung career mo?
It went by so fast. The fact that you're saying 40 years that we're here, that is even written on a poster, it's news to me because it didn't feel like 40 years, even during the bad and slow days when the phone wasn't ringing. With phones before, just so you know. When the phone wasn't ringing, this is hard because my host is so much younger than me. That was a time that really went slow. But as I recall it, as I remember it now, ang bilis. I can't believe it's been 40. Can't believe the number is 40. But the real hard question to answer is what's next. That's going to be the hardest. That's why I said earlier, I've learned to embrace me. Meaning to say, my niche, where I belong in the industry. Like Barry Manilow, if you heard him sing any other person's song, you might even be disappointed, diba? Or ang ganda yung version niya, or sana kinanta niya yung song niya. And what's my point? I need to sing my songs from this day to the next 40 years. That's my niche. Now, if I'm gonna do a corporate show and they have a certain theme, sige, mag-ayos ko yung lineup ko. But if it's a Martin concert, we can't do it now the way I used to, which is every year, twice a year, sometimes 3 times a year, because it's gonna be the same songs. So I'll have more collaborations. Me with another artist, me with many other artists. Big shows, small shows. Now that I've been 40 years in the business, there's no such thing as a small show. There's no such thing as a big show. There's no such thing as a small paycheck. There's no such thing as a big paycheck. Billing is no longer, now that's optional. I could care less about billing now. Nothing matters to me anymore except to entertain and to enjoy what I'm doing. There's no pressure. There's no competition in my mind. I'm not trying to compete with someone the way I did in the 80s and 90s, which was really fun, just so you know. But that whole fan mentality of trying to get fans, if you want to stay with me for the next 40 years, then stay. If you don't want, that's fine too. I'm not going to cry over small things anymore the way I used to.
So how does it feel now after 40 years we're still on top?
The only thing I'm on top of is a stool right now because I don't think I'm on top of anything. I think now it's hard to measure what does on top mean. Does it mean sold out concerts? Everyone does it. Does it mean, how is it followers? Hits? Followers. Does it mean that? Because I bet you she has more followers than me in some platforms. It's really weird. I'm the concert king, but she probably has more followers than me. That's how it works. The industry works now. So you really have to somehow put blinders on and not worry about those things and just do you. That's what I tell these new young artists. Just do you. Don't try and be me. Don't try and be anyone else. Just do you.
Martin, do you still remember kung sinong nagbigay sa'yo ng Concert King title?
Bob Castillo.
Bob Castillo.
And he meant it sarcastically. It wasn't a title, but the fans used it as the title. If you ask me about the Concert King title, I hate it because it's so much pressure. I wish they said something like the wannabe Concert King or the soon-to-be or the next in line or something, but the Concert King. What gets better than Concert King, diba? So you have to be good. So the way I've told myself is I don't have to be the Concert King. I have to have a show, and everything I do has to be fit for a king. So you're the king, and you're the king, and you're the king, and everybody there. You're all the audience is the king. The show has to be the kind of show that is fit for a king. That's what makes me the Concert King.
Thanks, Marty.
Thank you, Joy.
Thank you very much. That was Georgia Gabinete of Pep.ph.